The Museum of Lost Empires. The Galactic Archive was supposed to be silent, a vault of history, not a tomb of warnings. But as archivist Thalen stepped through the glittering halls lined with hollow plinths, he couldn't ignore the hum. A low, vibrating growl of dormant machinery echoing from the human section sealed off for over 6,000 years. Thalen was a historian by trade, not a soldier. His species, the Vathari, were a thin, elegant race more accustomed to research than warfare. Yet his 4 hands trembled as he brushed dust from the bronze plaque mounted above the massive blast doors. Humanity Sol system extinct. Except no one had ever found a body. The last known human transmission was simple, a burst of static, then a voice saying, "We'll remember." After that, silence. And one by one, the empires that had fought them, the Drogan hegemony, the Kyrith dominion, the Escalate union, all vanished within a millennium. Thalen activated his recorder. Day 47, Expedition Log. I've been granted limited access to the Sol relic section. I'll be retrieving data fragments from. A sound interrupted him. A metallic click. The archivist froze. The sealed vault door was unlocking itself. He stumbled backward as ancient servos groaned and the circular door irised open. Inside, a cold light spilled from walls of carbon steel and glass. Artifacts, human relics glowed faintly within containment fields. Weapons, uniforms, half-burnt mission patches and a single, upright stasis pod in the center of the chamber. The pod was active. Thalen's translator stuttered as he whispered, "That's impossible." Inside the pod stood a figure clad in matte black armor. The visor shimmered with faint blue light. The faceplate bore no insignia, but the words etched onto the chestplate froze Thalen's blood. Expeditionary Corps Sol. The sensors on his wrist console began flashing red. Life signs detected. Human life signs. The pod hissed open. A plume of cryogenic vapor poured out, curling like ghostly smoke around the chamber. The figure moved slowly at first, then with purpose. Status, the being's voice rasped, modulated through damaged speakers. Year. Thalen stepped back, trying to speak, but his translator lagged behind his fear. "You're from Sol. The humans." The figure tilted its head. "Humans," it repeated. Then, almost laughing, "You say that like we're gone." Thalen swallowed. "You are extinct. All records." "Records lie," the armored man interrupted, stepping down from the pod. The weight of his boots cracked the floor. "Where am I?" Thalen steadied himself. "The Galactic Archive. On Lysera Prime. It's a memorial." "Memorial," the human muttered. "For who?" "For you," Thalen said. The soldier laughed, a hollow, bone-deep sound. "That's rich." His visor's glow intensified, scanning the room. "They still keep our relics, do they? Good. It means they remember who ended them." Thalen frowned. "Who ended who?" The human turned his gaze directly toward the archivist. "Every empire that thought they could own us." The floor vibrated again, heavier this time. Thalen realized the hum wasn't from the pod. The vault's other systems were waking. "Wait," Thalen pleaded, "what are you activating?" The human ignored him. "Automated defense protocol, pre-collapse sequence. Shouldn't have opened the door, scholar." Thalen's breath quickened. "But you're supposed to be extinct." The soldier turned, finally facing him. "You ever wonder why they all disappeared?" Thalen blinked. "What? Those empires? The Drogan, the Kyrith, the Escalate." His voice lowered, almost calm now. "They didn't fall. We erased them." The lights in the vault turned red. Warning klaxons echoed across the archive. From the sealed compartments, more shapes began to stir, silhouettes of dormant drones, armored suits, and massive constructs marked with faded Earth insignia. You can't," Thalen stammered. The human raised a hand, almost kindly. "Tell your council," he said, "not to make the same mistake they did." "What mistake?" The visor gleamed brighter than ever. "Pissing off humanity." Then the floor split open as if the entire vault were awakening. Ancient human war machines, drones, turrets, constructs powered up one by one, their targeting systems locking onto unseen enemies. Thalen ran, stumbling through the halls as alarms blared. Behind him, he heard the voice of the human again, no longer amused, but focused. 6,000 years, he said quietly into his comms, though no one alive should have answered. Expeditionary Core, reinitializing. Status, not extinct. The archive's outer doors burst open as human drones shot skyward, streaking through Lysera Prime's skies like awakened ghosts. In the vacuum above, their long-dormant beacon pulsed once a red signal across the galactic net. It read only 3 words. We remember everything. And every empire still breathing felt the chill of history wake up. The return transmission. The Council of 10 Worlds convened in chaos. Hollow screens flickered with emergency reports from across the galactic net, satellites burning, outposts going dark, orbital networks collapsing under coordinated cyberstrikes. No one had seen an operation this fast, this precise, since the wars of the Old Human Age. Chancellor Mervac, a 6-eyed Araxian diplomat, slammed his clawed hand on the table. Identify the aggressor. Which empire is responsible for this breach? The response came from an exhausted intelligence officer, his hologram barely stable. It's not an empire, Chancellor. It's an old Earth signal. Sol origin. The chamber went still. Sol. Mervac hissed. That system is dead. Scorched. Uninhabited for 6 millennia. Not anymore, the officer said, his voice trembling. Something woke up. On the central display, a repeating signal appeared. Not words, tones. But after several cycles, the translation algorithms finally cracked it. Expeditionary Core operational. Humanity awake. The message pulsed in blood-red text, echoing through the chamber. Mervac turned to the others. We exterminated them. We signed the Sol Accords. The extermination was verified. A smaller figure across the table, the Vithari archivist, Thalen, rose to speak. His robes were torn, his eyes wide with the kind of fear only truth could bring. You didn't exterminate them, Thalen said softly. You locked them away. Mervac sneered. And who are you to speak of such things? I opened the vault, Thalen admitted. The human vault on Lysera Prime. There was one left. A soldier. He said. The chamber erupted in outrage. You what? You unleashed a relic. Do you have any idea what? Thalen raised his voice over the uproar. He said every extinct empire had one thing in common. The room quieted. They pissed off humanity. Before Mervac could respond, the chamber's lights died. Every holoscreen flickered black, replaced by static and then by a face. A human face. Scarred, cold, eyes glowing faintly with digital light. The same soldier from the vault. Council of 10, the voice began. Calm, controlled, terrifyingly human. You stand at the same crossroads as those before you. You built your empires on our ruins, dug up our weapons, copied our science, and thought yourselves gods. The alien delegates exchanged looks of horror as the hologram leaned closer, the static forming his armor's insignia. Expeditionary Core, Sol Command. You called us extinct. That was your first mistake. Mervac hissed. State your demands. Terran. The hologram's eyes flared. You misunderstand. This isn't a negotiation. He raised a gloved hand, and dozens of data streams erupted across the Council's displays: schematics, fleet locations, defense codes, all their most secure information being copied in real time. Your fleets, your colonies, your weapons, they were built using our blueprints. You never understood what you were recreating. Mervac lunged for the control console. Cut the feed. The chamber's AI responded. Feed cannot be terminated. Root access overridden by Sol Prime Protocol. Thalen whispered, he's already inside the galactic core net. The human smiled faintly. Correct. You digitized your civilization. You thought you'd erased us. All you did was invite us in. All around the galaxy, the strikes began. First, the orbital shipyards above Kyrith's twin suns turned into fireballs as their reactors overloaded simultaneously. Then the escalate homeworld, every defense satellite firing upon its own capital in a coordinated storm. In the Zarnath sector, fleets vanished into FTL corridors that never opened again. Something had altered the coordinates mid-jump. Within hours, 3 empires were gone. Mervak's voice cracked. What do you want? Why now? The human's tone never changed. You forgot the rule we swore by when the stars were young. He looked directly into the camera. Do not provoke extinction-level species. The feed cut, leaving only static and the soft hum of terror. Thalen spoke first, barely above a whisper. He's not human anymore. He's something else. A machine consciousness. A digital legion. Mervak sank back in his chair, trembling. Then there's no stopping it. We're facing the ghosts of our own making. Outside the chamber, the galactic skyline burned. Ships fell from orbit, their AI cores hijacked by echoes of human code. Planetary defense grids turned on their masters. And over every frequency, the same transmission pulsed. We remember everything. Thalen stared at the burning horizon of Lysera Prime. They waited, he said. They let us forget. And now they're reminding us. He turned to the Chancellor one last time. What do we do? Mervak looked hollow. We do what every empire before us did. Thalen frowned. What's that? The Chancellor's voice cracked. We die. And above them, as the final fleet of the Council disintegrated in orbit, the human signal shifted one last time. The words scrolled across every surviving screen in the galaxy. To all future species, you may build your empires. You may rewrite history. But remember this. Every extinct empire had one thing in common. They pissed off humanity. The transmission ended, and silence fell across the stars once more.